So, hi everyone! Welcome to Dota Bear Lessons Episode 4. It's going to feature Aui 2000 from Dignitas. He plays role number 1, which is hard carry, and he's been my coach throughout this whole series. So if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, we are actually going over off-lane role, since that's the one that I'm most interested. We'll definitely cover other lanes, but for now, we're going to pretty much recap very briefly what we've learned in previous episodes. But today we're going to really focus on mid-game map movement. A lot of the times I struggle in knowing when to leave my lane, when I should gank and so forth. So Aui's going to explain a bit more of what we're going to cover today.
Yeah, so mid-game map movement is basically where you should be on the map at any time. And there are times to farm, and there are times where you definitely should not be farming. And while a lot of it does have to be built up from experience, you do need to know a few things so that you can start doing it, so you can build experience and sort of know where to TP, where to move, when to smoke, and when to just wrap around a hero or something like that. First, though, we're going to have Megumi actually watch her own replay. That's mostly in the laning phase, and she's going to point out any mistakes, so we're just going to watch the replay in her player perspective. And then we're also going to look at that replay. We're going to also look at that replay and just see any map movements where she could have maybe gone to a different lane to gank and stuff like that. While mid-game map movement does say mid-game, it sort of also includes the early game. So stuff like if you're not getting any XP in lane, then you should be going to gank or making something happen or getting XP somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. And the one that we're going to look at is a really good game. There's 2 slows in it, and I didn't do so well, so it would really be nice to get your pointer. So if you guys don't already know, Aui's also streaming from his perspective. It's on the top of my overlay that I'm going to show, so make sure that you do check it out from the coach's perspective. He streams very often, and he's going to give a lot of insight, so please head over. Okay, so whenever you're ready, I'm watching your screen. Okay.
Alright, so we're just going to start. So,
okay.
So right off the bat, why is this not working? I think it's... Okay, there we go.
Oh, I can't see the items on my, but it's okay. Yeah. So what I tried to do is this time, since I'm just going to recap, you did say to get items as soon as possible. I do want to go to my lane. I asked for rewards, but I don't get it. So in this... I guess, should I be asking questions as I'm explaining?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so in this case, no one does get me wards, and I thought my support would, but should I have opted to get wards myself instead of that extra branch? Or actually, it's frozen.
I would say yes, but more than that, I think you should just bought an extra set of tangos. You have quite a bit of gold left over, and you should really get the last branch or get tangos.
Okay. So I should have just finished it off first. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have bought wards, to be honest, in offlane.
Okay,
so
and then just get better regen.
So.
Okay, got it. And then,
you need better.
So I did try to do it.
We're just going to start this.
Okay. So I did try to do what you said, get the items as soon as possible, and then head to my lane. I think I failed blocking in here for the creep wave. I can't really remember this game too well. I played it like at 2 in the morning before to prepare, but once the game gets progressing, we'll see what I do. So I do remember you saying also, whenever I'm blocking the creep, try to get the range creep ahead because it dies faster and it does more damage, so it doesn't push my lane. Is that correct?
Yeah, but you do want to be trying to block your creeps, I think. I think you just out-tabbed it or something. Or, I'm not sure. Because you want to block it from the start because it gives you an easier block on range creep. And also, if you get the range creep back, you can push the lane closer to your tower.
Okay. So yeah, I failed completely in in my creep range. And then here, since I didn't have wards, I'm not sure, is it okay that I'm farming here? And one thing I try to do is try to bother the support or waste its time. But then I think I'm not supposed to trade hits with Veno. Am I correct? Or
no, you can trade hits with the Veno.
Okay.
You do want to wait till everyone has came back into lane.
Uh-huh.
Sort of like you don't know where the Nax is. If the Nax wrapped around you here, he would actually be dead. Just to Gale and an Axel.
Okay. The
So
double
that's
slow
something
would
to
have
look
got
up
me.
for.
Okay.
So the entire thing with getting an extra set of tangles is that you can trade hits with the support. And Veno actually doesn't have that much damage. He has a lot of slow, but he has pretty low base damage, and he doesn't get his W till he's level 2.
Okay.
So when you initially saw the Veno in lane,
Mhm.
I just want to know, like, what were you thinking? Like, your initial thoughts?
Just block the Gale. I didn't think too much. I just thought like, oh, I have to be careful. Whenever I lane against a Vino, I'm just more cautious because he can slow me.
Yeah,
And then
he's a really
especially
strong support.
yeah, since Lifestealer's right there too, so I knew I had to play more cautious with double slow.
So something that you do need to keep in mind, I think,
Mhm.
is that if their heroes are not on the map yet as an offlaner, it's really not worth it if they can kill you.
Okay. So I
Right,
should have just
'cause-
stuck by tower till I saw.
Yeah, well, you can sort of come down here, sort of poke out to the sides, try to scout them. But if they get either spell on you, then you're dead. Like, it doesn't matter that you have leap. But if you poke around to the side, if you can just leap away before they get the spell on you, then you're going to be fine. And you might be able to get last hit some experience. I mean, this worked out very well for you because by trading hits with the Veno, he sort of pushed his lane out.
Okay.
So he gales you.
So I am supposed to trade hits because the person I was playing with said that I shouldn't trade hits with Vino.
Oh no, you definitely should.
Okay, I should just got more tingles.
So
and stuff.
for that, when he galed you there,
Uh-huh.
do you think you should have leapt right away, or do you think you should have tried to trade hits there? No.
Well, I'm really greedy, so I try to stay as long as possible to try to get an XP or maybe a possible CS, which sometimes kills me. I don't know. Like, I usually typically stay, though, to try to just... Because I feel like they can't really kill me after Gale level 1 runs out and I have Leap, I felt pretty safe.
Well, I mean, like, no, like, right when he gales you right there, you sort of turned around and hit him, and you didn't use Leap at all.
Yeah, I don't... I guess because I feel like I have Leap, so at the very... Because I can't really judge too well when I should back or go yet or engage. So I kind of just use it as a last minute, like, okay, let's see if I can stay. I don't want to just automatically run away after one hit. I'm still kind of like test and see like what it does and what I can get away with. So I rather just stay and then see, okay, for next time I should have leaped or I should have, backed or something.
So against a Veno, his slow sort of starts really high. It starts at 90%, and then it sort of scales down, minus 20% every 3 seconds, I think, or something like that. Or it's 90% 1 second, 2 seconds, 70% or something like that. So you do want to use leap right away because he got in like an extra 4 auto attacks on you when you didn't leap. And again, you're going to have full mana anyways, so it's not like you're really losing any mana here. You're going to have to regen anyways. And since you didn't buy the extra tangle, you really don't have that much regen. Even if you did have an extra tangle, it's definitely worth, like, that's like 200 damage or maybe like 150 damage after armor that he got on you extra there.
Yeah, and because of that, I ended up having to leave my lane eventually quite earlier because I think I used myself here.
Yeah. So,
they
also could have killed you if Nax just had open wounds. But he had feast and you sort of got lucky there because he was in range of you. And
so,
even if he opens wounds you and you leap right away, you have 2 slows on you. You're going to die. You're really squishy.
So next time I should have just immediately leaped away if they're better too, I guess.
Yeah. And something that we mentioned before is that if you leap away like that, you have to play really cautious for the next 30 seconds. Because if one spell hits you, you're going to die. Like, it just happens like that. So they can't get anything on you while your leap is dead. If you have leap up and you're sort of like over here, so close to your tower, if they get one spell on you, you can leap away and you might be able to get back to your tower before they get a second spell on you and you escape. But if you have both, if you don't have leap up, then you're just going to die.
Okay. I think I did remember that when I was playing Rinrunner or like the game I just played before, like right now, Potom, I try to keep that in mind. Like, okay, I just leaped, I need to play more cautious because it's down. So that did help.
I mean, you probably actually should have traded hits there because the Veno doesn't have Gale up. You need to sort of know that his cooldowns were up and that it costs 125 mana, so he didn't have mana for it. Also that he's not level 2, so he doesn't have Poison Sting. You're in really no danger of dying in that position as long as you don't let the Nags sort of hit you. If you can trade 1-1 with a support, you're probably going to come out ahead.
Okay.
like trade 1-to-1 hits. That's sort
Okay.
of pretty fair because usually the offlaner has more regen than the support.
So in the case where I did decide to trade hits, I shouldn't have because I was guild, so I took way
Yeah,
more
if
hits
he's
because I was
scaling you,
slowed. And then
because
in this case, I should have because it's cooldown and there's no mana for it.
so when he gales you, he hit you. You were
Uh-huh.
running, and then you turned around to hit him, and you
Yeah.
turned around to run again. The turn animation is quite long, and you took like he got a full extra attack in from that, and then he kept chasing you.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
if you had just used your leap, you would have traded. He used 125 mana for Gale,
Uh-huh.
which only does 100 damage. I
Okay.
think. I don't even know. Strike. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it does 100 damage,
Okay.
and you use 40 mana for leaps, and Veno doesn't have a lot of Gales, so if you can trade one Gale for one leap,
Okay.
you're actually coming out ahead as long as he doesn't get extra auto attacks on you.
Got it.
So, and then when he doesn't have a Gale, you don't really want to use leap because you can just sort of kite him back. You have longer range than him. You can always get like longer range means that if he goes in for harass, you should always get the last hit on him. He hits you, you hit him. He hits you, you hit him. When he has to run, you get an extra attack in,
Okay.
and you can sort of skirt around him and stuff like that. So yeah, going back to this.
It's really helpful because a lot of the times in my head I'm like too greedy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to waste mana or something. But then I don't really take into consideration, like you said, like you have to realize his costs 125 mana. You know, he only has so much and mine's only 40 and etc. Like those things actually make a lot of sense in that perspective.
So again, here, use your leap,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to. Well, you need to be really, really careful when leap is down because Nax actually has move speed on you too, and he hit level 2. So if Nax had just opened wound you there, you would have died here too,
Okay.
especially with the Veno level 2. So yeah,
So I guess with someone like Marana, I just need to be okay. I'm too cheap on the wrong thing. Like I'm taking more hit on my HP than worrying about saving my
also
mana.
there, since the lane was pushing so hard, he has a
Mhm.
lot of range creeps. Instead of having to tank it all at your tower
Uh-huh.
around, or have another creep wave, it's hard to do it. If you had walked up there when there are 3 creeps hitting this one, and you could have pulled them back by aggroing a hero into your tower, since you did have leap then, so you can do stuff like that.
Okay.
So that would guarantee you more experience. Well, same experience really. Well, more experience because it's less chance of it getting denied,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot easier to last hit it if
Under my tower.
it's not like 3 range creeps sort of beating on your tower and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. And maybe the melee creeps get pulled up here, but the tower is still hitting the range creeps down here because Dota is sort of weird like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
So-
makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know. When
So
I'm
I think
playing,
last
I'm like so focused on less hitting and not like I don't really think of all these things that you say. But then when you say, it, I'm like, okay, there's so much I'm not doing correctly.
I mean, I think part of that is the fact that you're not really too used to last hitting yet. If, like, in Dota, every single player, even the support, needs to just have last hitting as second nature. Like, you literally need to be able to see a lane once, look to another lane, and sort of know that in, like, 3 or 4 seconds, a last hit's going to be available. So,
Did I
again,
leap
here.
too slow here? Should I leap earlier?
Yeah, I think as soon as he gales you, you should be leaping.
Okay.
Because
That's
it's a
what I was-
good mana trade for you, and by saving your leap, you're not getting any closer to your tower, really.
Yeah.
'Cause
And I think
leap's
this
like-
is when I had to leave the lane too. I'm not sure.
Yeah. If you leap right away, then you just take less damage. That's all there is to it. This way, you're in both scenarios. You leap later, you leap right away. You're going to still get the leap off. You're still going to live. But one, you take 4 less autos, and the other one, you just take maybe just the gale.
Got it.
So yeah. And after you leap there, if you had leap properly, you did have to be a bit cautious for the Nyx open wounds for 30 seconds.
Okay. See, and
Okay.
because, like you
So-
said, what I did, now I have to leave lane and I'm losing so much XP and just like little things
Yeah.
adding up. If I galeed leaped the first time I got galeed, I probably would have had more regen and been able to stay. Like, just so
So,
many things. Uh-huh.
do you want to tell me why you finished your Bastering and bought extra Tango there, or what your thought process was?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I just thought like, oh, I need more regen because my lane is a hard lane. Like I feel like I'm getting tough, and I think that's when I was like, oh, I should have got more tango earlier because I had to lose my lane. And then Bassi is just because I didn't know what else to finish with my items.
I mean, something to keep in mind is that if there's EXP dying to a tower, you should pretty much always be TPing unless you know they can kill you.
Okay.
Like, they might be wrapping around to kill you, but you definitely should have had a TP back there. And also, if you already have a tango, try to get Salve, because Salves heal you faster and are cheaper. Whereas tango sort of, you little mounts and goes through damage.
Okay.
So you want a mix of the two, because they're both going to be useful at different points in the lane.
Okay, so in this case, I should have went with Salve and then TP back to get the XP and then maybe chance to get my gold back from last hitting.
Yeah. And you can always buy that mastering for the side drop too. That's something to keep in mind. You didn't need to get it up here.
Okay. Just like the magic stick too, like you're saying.
Yeah. Also, going back to this. Okay. So you're lasting a tower here. I just wanted to look at one thing. So you leap right away. You can still stay in lane for a bit. But yeah, actually that's pretty much it. Like, you should, and then when you're coming back, oh, I was thinking you might have time for another leap to get back to Fountain, but you didn't, so yeah.
But
if
I
you
should
do
be
have, like,
leaping
mobility
as much
skills
as
like that,
possible, right? To like get back or blink. Like if I have blink or wind run.
Yeah, if you blink
like
or use leap or use wind run, you will get back to Fountain faster. The only thing to watch out for is that you might have your leap on CD when you get back to lane, so you might be cautious.
Sure.
If he KOs you, you should probably leap right again here because he has 3 hits on you. Or your other option there was to just turn and arrow him because he was tanking at a tower. You probably actually could have killed him there.
Got it.
Alright.
I need to get more familiar with Potom. See, here, this is where I was so sad I failed at my leap. I think I got too excited. But like, what could I have done better? Should I have killed him? Or I don't...
If you can kill a short lane carry like that for an offlaner, you should always go for the kill.
I hesitated.
Or, yeah, you hesitated and then... Or you have to sort of make a decision. You can't go halfway, right? You sort of went for the kill and then you tried to back. You sort of have to just either go for the kill or just back. Because indecisive like that, like, he's just going to solve up if you don't kill him, basically. So there's no point in trying to get additional damage on him there. And by going for the middle, you're just going to take extra damage. You want to either be able to back with no damage taken, or you want to kill and just trade. And again, there, we need, like, use your escapes right away. The only one that's sort of different is, like
this, I die here, I think, yeah.
So that was sort of also because your leap was on CD and you didn't really watch out for that, right?
Yeah.
So the only one who's sort of a bit different is Windrunner's Windrun. You want to save Windrun until they would be hitting you the most, I guess.
Yeah, to dodge
while getting away. Like, if you use Windrun right when he gales you, they're just going to run forward and wait for it to be over. So you want to use Windrun. He gales you. You wait a little bit until they're about to start hitting you, and then you Windrun away. Venom Nax is a bit different because they're just going to kill you as Windrun if you use Windrun, because Venom and Nax are both very, very strong.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, that earlier. If you know the time that I almost killed Nyx, if I had just made my decision right away, would I have gotten a double kill there, or just? Or...
Double kill? I think you would have killed Nax, only Nax at most.
But in that case, it's still worth it, right? Because I'm
of course. You're the offlane hero. He's the short lane carry, and you're going to get EXP from the kill before you die too.
Okay.
So yeah. Also, you clicked your TP to use it. I'm not too sure if you usually use hotkeys, but you should get in the habit of always using hotkeys for stuff like that.
It depends on how. Oh, I guess.
Do you use 6 item hotkeys actually?
I use 1 on courier, 1 hero, 2 courier, 3, 4 if I'm using like Chen or something, and then I use Alt Q W E. And then ASD. Yeah, I do. I use more than 6.
Okay. So you use 6 item hotkeys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I said item hotkeys,
Okay. So, what do you think you should be doing right now? If, yeah.
Should I be stacking ancients? Or,
Um,
or
I,
try to
I
gank
don't
in
think
this case?
you generally shouldn't be. Yeah, you should have just been trying to go for EXP. You generally only stack ancients or go do other stuff when you can't get anything in your lane,
Okay.
or you're sure you can make something happen. There are exceptions to the ancient stacking if you have a team sort of based around a tink or something like that, but it's sort of rare. So again, here you need to just leap
Leap
right
right
away.
away.
I mean, it's sort of good that you're baiting it for the Meg, but I have this feeling that you didn't really see the Meg, and yeah.
No,
I
I
don't know.
just don't think I need to leap. Like, I think I'll be fine a lot of
Oh,
times.
I
I don't
see.
know,
Well,
like,
I mean,
I don't, I underestimate the poison too and just, like, how slow that they go. Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really used to Potom too. I just started playing her when you told me to play, but then, like, these two, the combo of Veno Nyx, it's really strong. And then I kind of learn when I'm just like, oh, because I die to it, you know? I'm like, okay, next time I have to be careful. It sounds sad, but like I have to like die and like kind of experience it, and
yeah,
then
no,
I'll
no,
like,
that's
okay,
learning, right?
yeah,
People learn through mistakes. That's why I think that, like, when I usually coach people,
uh-huh,
I tell them to give me a game they lost,
mm,
and maybe not too badly, but one that they lost, because I think that there are a lot more mistakes when stuff goes wrong that you can learn from. Whereas when stuff goes right, it's hard to sort of point out stuff you could have done better.
no, definitely.
So
I have to also get used to better like when to use my Q when, like say I couldn't last, I'd miss last hits if I don't. Those things I'm trying to like get better at gauging too. Like sometimes when it's under tower and then I would miss one, or I could just get two. Oh, here too. Um, like I could have played this better too, if you can kind of go over.
yeah, sure, I'll go over that little.
And like, not only am I not too familiar with Mirana myself or Potom, like because I'm not really familiar with her, I'm not really familiar with how my chemistry is with other heroes.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so first off the bat,
uh-huh,
you use your nuke to sort of last hit creeps under the tower. You
uh-huh.
probably shouldn't do that.
Saved
Your
it,
nuke is
right?
really, really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first one. Okay, so hey, now I think Meg is probably saying he's going to come bottom or something because he TPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he's TPing, you don't need to open with arrow.
Okay.
Um, I mean, he didn't have skewer up, but I don't think you even checked, and I don't think he told you. So
Yeah,
you
you're
don't
right.
need to try to open with arrow unless like you're really desperate for the gank to go off. I mean, that gank it sort of started bad because the Venom saw the Meg right away, but
Mm-hmm.
skewer was going to come up, and he was going to catch one RP no matter what. Like
Okay.
these heroes are not like stunning him, right?
Okay, so I should just wait till he does the lead in. Like he initiates and then I
Yeah.
kind of follow up.
I mean, if you can hit an arrow, then that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be the best. But
Mm-hmm.
the other guys saw him; they're already running. They're already wary for an arrow.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, like, if you had baited the Veno and then he's attacking you, arrow him, and then Meg skewers in while Nag's sort of running up because he thinks you're manning up on Veno, catches
Uh-huh.
two in the RP, then and you still Starfall mana, that's a really quick double kill. It's up here, so it's super safe. Like, going for a kill down here is sort of dangerous.
Mm-hmm. By
And,
the tower.
yeah, so, like, it's just knowing when to use your spells to initiate or not to, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you keep going here. You
So I
need
guess
to
after.
just be ganked down.
Mm-hmm. So like you know how I missed there? Like I know how you said the ideal way, but since it's already messed up, should we have backed, or it's okay to keep engaging here, or kind of like what?
I mean, he does have RP, but you're getting close to his tower. In a competitive game, you probably should back. In a pub,
Okay.
you might as well just go.
Okay.
It's better to like make a mistake and learn from it than just
Mm-hmm.
have something not happen at all. Because if you're just playing ultra safe, then you're
Mm-hmm.
never gonna make the mistakes to learn from, and you're really not going to improve from it.
Yeah, and
And-
then you can't know what you can get away with and so
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
guys have a ton of nukes with just Meg, so
Okay.
yeah.
So I should
So you
have
come in.
queued. I needed to arrow like here, probably better.
Or like a Starfall would have been probably
Mhm.
enough too.
Okay.
Do you think you should have leapt down to the Meg to give him some movement speed and get there faster?
Wait, can you say that again?
Do you think you should have used leap when you're running down? The Meg was here. Do you think you should have used leap to get to him faster?
I guess because you're asking me that.
Oh no, I actually think you shouldn't have.
Oh,
That's
I
fine.
thought you were trying to tell
But-
me that I should have.
No.
Okay. then good.
Well, here's
No,
why, because
I only keep it because just in case I might die too. Because I'm kind of like,
yeah,
okay, that's why I did it.
no, exactly. Because if they have a TP coming in, the Meg's
Mm-hmm.
overcommitted. Um, Leaping in is going to give you like one extra auto, two extra autos,
Mm-hmm. And
but
then
you
no
can
escape.
always leap later when the Meg has already hit his spells off if
Mm-hmm.
they're like just getting away.
Mm-hmm.
So that leap doesn't really give you any additional damage because you could have used it later as well. By saving it, you're giving yourself the option to escape and only have Meg die if someone had TP'd or something, or it somehow went wrong.
Mm-hmm. I
So that's
guess
just part of. Yeah, sorry. Go
no.
ahead.
I guess like my experience with like Potom, she's so. I feel she's so squishy, so I'm kind of scared of any like always being by tower at this early, and then when my mana's down and when my health is down too. And since I died quite a bit already to Vino and Nyx,
Yeah.
I like get kind of like cautious.
I mean, really, you only need to be scared when leap is down, as long as you're using leap. Like, you need to be using leap relatively
Right away.
liberally. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if the Nyx is ever beside you,
Mm-hmm.
like, if Nyx gets open wounds off before Veno gets slow, then you're going to die. Because, yeah, you're just going to die.
Even if I leap immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they chase you and they try to go on you.
Okay.
Because, yeah, Gale's a bit longer range than Nyx. So, I mean, even if he gets a Gale off, like, you have to know if he gets a Gale off and you leap, can he get open wounds off and kill you when you're not yet at your tower? Like, if he gales you when you're here and you leap, they can just chase you and kill you.
You know,
Because you will make it about here before you die.
you know, open wounds. What's the radius? So I should have checked
The range?
that too. Yeah, the range.
I don't know. I think it's 700. I'm not sure, actually. It's quite far, though. But, like,
Okay,
I
I
mean,
need to start learning that too.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's one thing to look out for, I guess. So we're just saying Meg goes in. You don't need leap to follow up him there because it's
I need
not going to give you any extra damage, and you want to leave yourself more options. And honestly, it's harder for them to judge it if you still have leap up, because if you leap in and start autoing them, all your cards are sort of down. They might be able to pull something off and live with 10 HP, whereas if your leap was still up, they would have 150 HP left and be like, oh, I still have lots of HP, I can still fight. And you'll cause them to misjudge it, but you can still hit them, leap in, hit them more, and kill them that way.
And plus
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, plus my auto attack isn't that great with Mirana, right? My Q is my...
low.
Okay.
Your
That's what
Q
I
is
noticed
pretty
too.
much all your damage. Like, your Q does like a lot of damage. It's just 525 if you hit the double star on. And at level 7, that's like all your HP, basically. If you hit yourself with it anyways.
Okay,
So, yeah.
got it.
I mean, ideally, you wouldn't have died. You'd be a bit higher level, so your auto attacks would be a bit more damage. You'd have a bit more mana to do stuff too.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, if you had gone auto CS, you potentially could have even had like treads or something.
Okay.
So we're just going to go a bit more, and then we're going to just look at some mid-game movement that you could have done this game. And then we're going to look at your other game, and I don't think we'll have time for the last replay.
Okay.
Or actually, no, we can just go over that one too quickly.
See, and like in these cases, I don't really see Nyx, right? Or I don't see Invoker. Like shouldn't be here. Like these cases, I don't know too. Like I don't know how much I can farm or when I should back.
I mean, as long as you stay on the right side and you see the next and you get leap off, like, here's what I think you should do. You should have bought a TP. If you see next, you just leap into the trees and TP and hope for the best.
Okay.
Because you still do want to be getting XP from here, right?
No, definitely. I think a lot of my problem is with Potom, like trying to play her, is I'm not really taking advantage of her escape mechanism as much as I should.
Yeah. I mean, escape mechs are really hard to judge in Dota because they're also escape and like initiating or chasing mechanisms. It's hard. I mean, this is just an experience thing. So you put a second point into leap. Can you sort of elaborate on why you did that?
I put in leap because does it give me further I just felt like I need more escape more because I'm kind of behind rather than my arrow's not going to do so much, I feel like.
All right. No,
That's my thought.
that's. I think that's quite good. I think if you take your ulti at 6, then leave arrow at level 1, you actually do put an extra point to it later, and like that extra 90 damage is pretty much good from the part where you're like level 1 to like level 6, and then after
But
that,
at this
especially
point,
as
it's
off
nothing,
laners,
right?
yeah, at this point, that extra 90 damage to arrow is really not worth anything.
Okay, so in that case, because like I said, I'm only trying to get leap more because I feel like I'm behind, so I need better escape. Then after that, I should have just put it into stats.
Yeah, you could have maxed leap. You can go stats here if you want.
Okay.
Like stats are also good if you're behind, just because you don't die. You can you have a bit of extra mana to farm with Starstorm,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So just here. You also see Meg is on the side, sort of scouting for you as well. So you see a Nyx, you see an Invoker, and right away you should be thinking, hey, there's an Invoker there. What's my course of option?
Oh, but my reflex
at some
is
point
like
during that, you also needed to have clicked on the Nyx to see that he didn't have any mana. Like when
Okay.
he used Rage over here, you had vision of him, and he had no mana. So when a Nyx has no mana, he's not going to do anything. Invoker's level 6. Like he has not that much either.
Okay.
So the arrow, he mana boots you, so you have Starfall.
I actually have a question. So, say this is, you know how this is the one where he has like Sunstrike and so far, what is it called? Exort or something? Invoker?
Yeah.
What is the difference if he went another combination? I guess I can't judge like what, depending on what Invoker goes because I've never played him. I don't really know how, like what the difference is going against him.
I mean, that's sort of just a question you need to figure out by just playing heroes by experience.
Okay.
Like, you need to know what every hero does and what all their spells do, or you're not going to have a good time in Dota. It's just, like, yeah. I mean, run from flashy things, hit them when they're low or out of position, but that's not going to help when Invoker shoots out a meteor at you and a stun, and you didn't know that could happen.
Okay.
So, anyways, let's just look at this fight for 1 second again. And I'm going to just talk about a couple of things. Okay, so we talked about when Meg was here, when it on dumb, you did not want to use Leap then, because then all your cards would build, you could have potentially died after that. This scenario, however, sort of presents an opposite of that. This one is where you definitely should have just leaped in. So one, you notice that you hit him with an arrow. You hit him with an arrow. Okay. Fight's going on. He mana boots you. Okay, you now have enough mana for Leap and Starfall. So this is a point where you're just like, hey, that carry is really, really low. I clicked on him over here, so he has no mana. Oh, you should have. Invoker will probably disable this Meg, to be honest.
Okay.
So if you leap in, and you hit the double Starfall on Invoker, and then he just shockwaves again, you're going to get a double kill. He also still has Skewer up, because you've seen that he never used that. So Meg has like 600 damage in Yoke, you have 525 to single target, 300 to the other one. Like, you're going to kill.
Okay.
But instead you sort of, you tried to move in to get the double Starfall, but you didn't have time for it. And then...
Yeah, I tried here, but I should have just, like you said, leaped into her.
Yeah, you need to just leap in and just go for it.
Okay, this...
and as... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't chase him because See, I don't know. Like, should I have gone and finished him off again? Like, try to just go for it? Because Invoker can just go
at
off,
that
or...
point in time, his boots are not
It's too late.
him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too late.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, just leap in, go for kills like that. If you know you're going to get it for sure. I mean, you guys probably will got a double kill there, and...
And then I wouldn't have to worry about Pheno and so forth.
And I think you die here?
Yeah, I think I died to poison. Yeah. And I wouldn't have died if it wasn't.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have died. Meg wouldn't have had to waste his TP out. He would have been able to like go mid and keep farming and stuff like that. So it's actually quite big to make those things happen when you have the opportunity. So now I'm just going to quickly go over the game, and we're just going to look at some mid-game map movement that you could have done.
Okay.
Alright. So starting here, I think. Okay. So anytime your lane is pushed out down here, or if you think that you can't get EXP, that's sort of a point in time where you're sitting here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you can't get anything down there or you might die. You're sitting here. When you're sitting here, they don't know whether you're here or you're going to be here. Because they don't really have vision up here unless they put a lane ward.
Got it.
And probably seen that in it. So when you have to sit up here, when they're going over here, their support might be pulling, he might be doing some other stuff. That's a perfect opportunity to gank an R lane. Generally the off lane goes to gank mid, but you can even pick up a TP and gank the other lane too.
Okay.
So I think there are a couple points where you could have just rotated to mid, tried to go for an arrow, and possibly gotten a huge kill off on their carry, their solo mid. Because if your offlane kills their solo mid, you're going to be in a great position. Like I don't want to say like it's win the game, but it's that big basically. Like you can basically snowball off that and just completely win the game.
Okay.
So anyways, going here. I mean, at this point, you also should have... Yeah. So here, the lane's down here, and you have no idea really where the Veno is. If he had more mana right now or something, I don't think you checked, but he used all the spells, so he can go on you right away. But this has been a really good chance to just rotate to mid. When Meg gets there, he can go in, use his nukes. If you hit an arrow, I think the Morph will die.
Okay.
To a double Starfall and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that would have been one example of a good mid-game movement. Also, if the lane's down here, you can also go stack Ancients. You have heroes to kill it.
Because, that makes sense, though. Because usually I just go to stack Ancients, because that's all I've kind of been taught. Like, oh, just do that if you don't have anything. But that makes sense. Like, if it's so pushed, it's not like they're really aware of me, and it's really rare that they'll ward that lane, especially.
The going to stack Ancients thing, I think it's because you're playing with probably really good people, and if they have an offlaner who just stacks the Ancients for them, then they're just going to carry the game. That's why I really think that playing in stacks, not at your skill level, is pretty bad for learning.
Okay. So that's why they're always just telling me stack Ancients.
Yeah, like because if you stack Ancients, you're not really involved in the game, but they're going to become stronger, and your uselessness at least helps them a little bit to carry the game, but you're not learning. You're being a creep. Like they could do that with a dominated HOTP creep. That's what you do.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I mean, the thing about this game is that they never really pulled the lane back, so it's good to stay in lane. But when Veno is able to zone you out like that, if this guy hadn't TP'd from mid, then that you also will have a good kill opportunity on middle there if you just rotate it around. Because when Veno's standing here, and you're standing here, and the creep wave is behind Veno, you're literally going to get nothing. You walk up, he's going to gale you, he's going to right click you, you're going to leap away, you're going to get 0 EXP for that.
Got it.
So if you can't get anything in your lane, sometimes it's just time to leave.
Okay.
Especially as an offlaner. And a great hero, like Potom is a good ganker for mid. Especially in pubs. You're just going to get an arrow, 5-second arrow, leap in and get a Starfall, your mid's going to nuke them, and they're going to die.
Okay. Plus, it'll be more interesting for me to just, roam more.
Yeah, and also, you learn a lot more than sitting at Ancients and stacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, stay by tower, live, don't die, stack Ancients.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, even that tower, once you hit a certain level, that tower's gonna die. It's just going to die. If a team wants your long lane tower dead, then it's dead. You're not saving it. Unless mid rotates or something like that. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna go through this a bit and just look at this. So again, you TP'd down here. It's not bad because Meg TP'd was there too. But you also could have easily TP'd up here. He sleeps him. You get an easy arrow because he's asleep, and then you get a kill at all.
That would have been bad.
So that TP to bottom was sort of iffy. Since there's already someone there getting EXP, at that point in time, you knew there were 3 heroes there, and you don't particularly want to go into a 2v3 willingly. If you had just left the Meg there and gone for kill somewhere else, then you would have been in a better position. Because this, even if it turns out well, it's putting yourself in a very dangerous position.
Okay.
Yeah. And what happens is, you guys dive them,
Wait, I died.
Yeah, I think everyone, you guys all die. So you go for the kill on Invoker. This sort of, you need to know when you can kill someone too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a
Because I
pretty low
think if I
chance of...
retreated right away, I would have lived.
Yeah,
From
I
that.
think you actually could have killed them too here.
Because I
So
hesitate
the arrows
too.
missed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I don't have...
So he skewers up here,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets a really good RP. If you had just waited for the RP, you would have... Oh, he didn't hit the RP actually, did he? Oh, he didn't. Oh, my bad. I thought he hit that.
No, he didn't.
If you had moved a bit closer to for the second Starfall, you probably would have killed the Invoker too. If you had focused on the low support hero, then you could have killed Venom and actually gotten out.
So I should have just went for him.
Like in that situation where the fight's going badly, you need to make what you can out of it.
Okay.
So either you can survive and make it not worse, or you can try to kill the support and then try to get out too.
Okay.
And the reason you could have got out, you need to also keep track of like all their spells were down. The Invoker used all his spells, he used it to invoke. Nyx used all his spells on the Meg, Venom used all his spells, so you're not really in danger of anything. Like after you kill the Venom, even just by auto-attacking him, you could basically walk out and you would eventually get enough mana for the leap by the time their spells came out.
Okay.
Right. Oh, and just a note, like if you're ganking mid as Potom, or anywhere as Potom, playing as Potom in lane, the easiest time to hit an arrow is when they're going for a creep, because that's the only time people need to stay still.
Okay.
So if there's, say, a melee hero, like say there's a melee hero here going for this creep, they will be standing here to get it. Or here. They'll be standing here to get it. And then for this creep, they'll be standing here or here. Like, it very, very limits their options. And it's very rare that they'll just be like, hey, I don't want this CS, right?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
everyone wants to do those. So, yeah. Okay, nice. I think we're just going to look at one more. So again, you run back bottom, but really, you could have gone for a kill on top. They were actually in trouble, so you...
sleep. Yeah.
Sorry?
No, you're right. It's just a good combo, and I'm not, like I said, I need to get better at like learning my chemistry with other heroes.
Yeah. I mean, no matter who it was, though, you probably should have gone top at some point by this time. What happens is that you keep dying, you just keep returning to your lane, and you're just going to keep feeding that way. Because really, like, if something makes you die and you do it again, you're going to die again. Like, there's no change. By rotating up, you force them to also sort of react to it. Hey, my offlane just died, they're taking my tower, heroes will rotate up this way, and then you can go back down, and you can get XP now.
Okay. Because I'm too constant, like you're saying.
Yeah, you're basically doing the same thing over and over again, and yeah. Oh, one more thing for that is if you had just ran straight instead of sort of turning a bit, you probably had a higher chance of living. Turning to the side and running to the side is obviously slower than going a straight line, and you have nothing to juke. So, like, I know, like, IG Zhao does. Like, do you know who Zhao is? He's yeah. Anyways, he's a player for IG. What he does is if he gets ganked, he just clicks on his minimap to his fountain. He right clicks there, and then he does nothing else. He looks back at his hero, sees if he can stun anyone. But for going back from a gank, he just clicks at his fountain because that's the only place he's gonna go. He's not going to dodge to the side because that's a waste of movement. Like you want to click back to the fountain or back here or wherever immediately. Or like I mean it's situational. Like maybe sometimes you could like stun them first and then do that. But his example is sort of on Bear where that's pretty much all you can do. And when your spells are down like that, that's pretty much all you could have done. You just click back to fountain and really you hope for the best.
Okay. No, I'll keep that in mind, because in my head I'm thinking like, oh, it makes more sense to try to go away from him. Because I feel like he'll catch up to me if I just run straight. But that does make sense.
Well, if you go away from him, you're just taking a longer path. Like, he's going to catch up to you. If he catches up to you when you're trying to go away from him, like, because he was behind you. Like, the fountain is directly opposite, but you sort of weave like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you had just gone straight, you probably still would have died, but you do want to keep that in mind. If he's coming from this side, then you do want to go straight away from him too, though.
No, definitely.
Like
it's just a habit I need to break. I do that with every
I mean, hero. Not necessarily to the fountain, but just straight away from them. You don't want to, like, try to turn around and stuff. Okay, anyways. I think we're going to move on to the next replay now.
Okay.
Which is... Actually, don't have it downloaded yet because it wasn't uploaded yet. But, yeah.
Yeah, and this too, like, I end up just farming, you know? I end up doing that and then farm. Because I don't really know what else I can do. Like you said, rotate in ganks. I need to start doing that.
I mean, if you're getting free farm in the lane as an offlaner, that's not too bad, especially on a hero like Potom, who has some carry potential. But you don't want to make your team 4v5, because that's basically what the first game was you were going to make your team 4v5, but the Meg sort of pulled you into the game. Like, the only reason you were involved in that game at all was because Meg sort of came bottom and stuff.
So in this one, yeah, in this one too, like, you'll see. I just farm.
Like, it's sometimes, like, it's more appropriate to, like, farm if you're a hard carry. Even then, you should be getting involved. But, yeah, you don't want to just always go for farm. You want to be able to go for other stuff. So we're just going to skip through this first little bit. Okay, so this time you do get wards. Did you have... Someone gave you wards? So, again, is there anything you could have done with your items better, or...?
Not in... What is my lane? Oh, I don't think so. Because I just played safe, and as long as I dodge Alina's stun, I feel like I'm okay.
Okay, well, I mean, you probably should just buy that extra set of tangos, because you're not getting anything else. Just as a note, you sort of missed the ward for both of the circles here.
Yeah.
Just put it on the floor. You should have bought an extra tango there. And when you're going down to ward, you can also just use leap from the fountain, because you're going to regen it.
I block here too. So then
I mean, you should try to block the melee creep way in front then, because they kill it first. Your other 3 creeps aren't attacking. Well, their 4 creeps are all attacking your 1. You're going to push out your lane. So again, here, just one thing for laning is that you could have pulled it back. You did do that a bit later, I think, and I'm not sure how intentional that was there, but because I don't think you right-clicked him there to do it, but that made the lane push up because his tower started aggroing it. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly zoom through the laning phase and point out anything you could have done better during that, I guess.
You know how you said, like, oh, just get an extra tango, you know, because you're not going to get anything anyways? Is it better to... So it's always better to basically spend it? Because sometimes I think, like, oh, then I can get my whatever item faster if I save. Or is that wrong
as
thinking?
As an offlaner, you want the 3 sets of regen.
Okay.
It's... Yeah, like, you want to be able to have more regen than the support.
Okay.
And the support at max is going to buy 2 sets.
Okay.
Because if you have more regen than them, you just trade hits, and... they have to go back to fountain, and you have 400 HP left, because that's 1 extra set of regen.
Okay, and then I can stay in longer, and then I can start maybe harassing the carry.
Because your goal in, like, the offlane isn't to get really quick items. It's to get EXP, get some gold, maybe steadily build up items, but just don't die. Like, if you're getting pushed out lane, then you're sort of failing that more than getting, like maybe 1 in every 5 games you get 90 gold faster boots. Which, I mean, if you could push the support out of lane, you're going to get those boots faster anyways.
Okay, because then I can last hit and hopefully get my CS and more XP. Okay, that makes sense.
So, is there anything you could have been doing? I mean, at this point, it's just I was saying I like how you're sort of standing to the right side. Like, you want to stand as far away from their support as possible, basically.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think I noted that later. Like, okay, I need to stand on this side.
You do need to make sure that you're using item hockeys just to get used to it, because you clicked the basket ring again.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
You also need to know spell interactions. If he lances you and you leap, you will not dodge it.
If he lances me and I leap, I will not dodge it?
Yeah, you won't dodge a lance. So again, you use Starhold there to get your regen going, which is good. You use leap a lot faster there, which is also good. You probably could use like a split second faster, but I don't think you would dodge any more damage.
Yeah. The reason why I leap fast, use my Starfall faster is because I was realizing I'm just CSing and I'm not getting my mana regen, and then I heard you in my head. I was like, oh yeah, you said to start using my spells.
And also harasses, like, when you hit you want to try to hit both their heroes with it ideally, but getting a CS and hitting one of them is perfectly fine too.
Was that dangerous to get my boots right there? That I got
really,
it?
you had leap up.
Okay.
There's one instance where right after you leaped, you went back in for more CS when your leap was down. You didn't click on the PL or Lina to check if they had mana for more spells. They could have killed you there if you had Lance you and then hit the stun.
Okay. And then you said
So
like, okay. I remember.
yeah, so you do need to be wary about that. And we're just gonna go through this again so we can get to some mid game stuff. Yeah.
I always get so frustrated if I miss my catapult in the tower. It's really hard for me to do that under tower when
Okay,
I'm like
so
low
there's an
level.
opportunity. When Lena uses her stun, that's when you know you can run up and whack her.
Okay.
Like just for those 7 seconds. Or also when PL was sort of contesting you for CS, honestly, it's very, very unlikely that you're going to get a deny over him. He has 10 damage on you, 13 damage on you. So when he goes for a CS, you should be getting 3 hits on him.
Ah, okay. Because a lot of the times I
He's
try to
running up
focus
towards you,
so
you
hard
hit
on
him.
a deny.
Yeah. I mean, you like 3 hits on him instead of a deny that you would have gotten is pretty good. Even if you were to get the deny, 3 hits on him is pretty good anyways. Because again, going back to this having 3 sets of regen thing, most dual lanes will have 4 sets of regen, 2 tangos and 2 selves shared between the 2 of them.
Okay.
If you can somehow harass a carry so that he needs to use his, and then trade hits with the support so that they need to use theirs, then you're just going to have more HP than them, and you're going to win the lane.
Got it. No, that makes a lot of sense. I think it's because I'm only thinking of the moment, like the now. So I'm like, oh, I just need to deny. But then if I do long term, like you said, I keep poking at him, then eventually that will be an even greater denial.
If you keep poking at him and he runs out of regen, he's not going to be able to kill you because he's going to be low at all times.
Yeah, and then I can see us better. And...
You never clicked on him to check if he had a stout shield, which is something else you need to do. When he does not have a stout shield, like you don't even need to care about denies. Like just if you can harass him 2 hits instead of getting a deny, just do it.
Okay.
Like him not having a stout shield, like 2 hits is 90 damage. Or, sorry, I should say more like 70 damage, which is almost like half a tango's use, which, I mean, it's a pretty decent amount of gold. Each tango hit is 30 gold, so you're doing 15 damage harass right there. Maybe he gets 40 gold from it, but if he buys more regen with that, then it doesn't matter if he got a CS.
Okay. This is actually really helpful, because I like I said, I think a lot of times I'm just like, I just gotta last hit, I just gotta poke, I just gotta harass. But I'm not really thinking like too deeply like why, but then that does make sense. Like, of course, if I poke him more, then that's, like I said, greater denial than just the immediate, denial.
Something else with trading hits with a support is that most support heroes in the game have really low base armor, whereas you have a ring of protection.
Okay.
So when you're trading hits, you're not just trading 1-to-1 with more regen, your hits are more effective.
Okay. And I have more regen on top of that.
Yeah, and you have more regen on top of that. So even if you guys trade even hits, she might have to use all 4 of the regens while you can only use 3. And then they have no regen, you have no regen, and you're coming out on top of that because you can still harass her carry and stuff like that.
Got it.
Also, something else is when bottom, it's probably better to try to hit an arrow instead of using a level 2 Starfall. When you're trading hits with support. Like, if you can ever hit it, trade hits with him, get an arrow off and hit him more, not only are you going to come on top on that exchange, but their carry is going to be like, oh crap, Tom just arrowed my support, I'm going to run towards him. Their carry might miss a CS, and like sort of worst case scenario for you is he drags the creep wave with him and your lane pushes out.
Okay.
Because people sort of panic when stuff gets hit by Polymer arrow.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, I think I need to be more liberal, like you said. Certain things, like, I don't know when, okay, my Q would have been better, like my Starfall or my arrow, but then that does make sense.
So especially when your creep wave's coming up, you don't want to give her a free hit on you like that either. Like, you had 2 creeps whacking her right there, you could have just whacked her back.
Okay.
The only thing was that you didn't have mana for leap because you Starfall there. That's actually quite bad to use Starfall like that.
And I'm pushing my lane too, right? When I
end up pushing your lane as well.
Yeah, okay.
So here's an interesting scenario. Your waves all the way back here, they still have mana for spells. You don't have any really high... You don't have any spells if they go on you.
Okay.
This is the point in time where you can consider just going back to heal.
Okay. I don't think I do, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. So now we're just going to go into why healing would be good, though. What healing would do is once you're healed up, you can TP to anywhere. You can TP to mid, you can TP to top, you can TP back bottom. It gives you that option. Because honestly, when the lane's this push, when you have nothing, it's sort of hard to get XP. I mean, normally you shouldn't be level 6, you should be like level 2 at 6 minutes.
Okay.
So in this specific scenario, probably staying's better as long as you wait for a leap to come back up before you sort of get near them.
Uh-huh.
Because like you do a lot of right click. You can trade hits with that leader still.
Okay.
But normally you should be under leveled, and with Potom your level 1 arrow is like really strong anyways. You can do a 5 seconds set. You should just go back to heal and maybe try to get a gank off. But if you're over leveled like this and you can pressure the carry, then definitely just stay in and do it.
Okay. So it just depends on how well I leveled, like you said.
So again, you could be right clicking when he goes for that CS.
Mm-hmm.
Something else is that if they're ever going for a CS, they can't be right clicking you at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So again, here you could hit him a bit, hit her a bit, hit him here. Like right now, you're just dancing back and forth. So, oh, hey, maybe I can go for just deny, but right clicking them so much easier. You just right click them.
Got it.
And PL should be at like what, maybe like 400 HP right now, or have no tangles.
Mm-hmm.
So it really does add up. So when you hit him there, you should move to side him again, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, there's like a lot of good things that. It sounds so obvious when you say it, but I honestly don't really
hard
think
to
of
this
it.
stuff, and it's like you need to just have it by experience. Because the thing about Dota is, if you have to think about something, then your window of opportunity has usually already passed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this that's actually a question. So when I get my treads, what one should I get first? Like the piece. With Potom.
I like as an offlane hero, I'd probably get the Bell Strength.
Okay.
If you're doing really well, you can get the Agi one, so you do more damage. I would not get the robe pretty much ever.
Okay.
Oh, something else about the last game is that tread swapping to int, you need to make sure you're tread swapping them off int too, because you just left them on int and targeting. So you that's something that you do want to start learning to do well on just tread swapping.
I tried to do it this game actually. And then, like I said, like you said, I'm sorry, last time you said put it on the green one when I'm just trying to heal, right, or regen, normally? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That only matters for regenerating mana. So anyways, something else about putting on it is that you're also gaining less from your Basi ring, because Basi does a static amount. And you're making it harder to last set for yourself, because you have -8 damage compared to the Agi treads. Like that one creep would have died there.
Okay.
With 8 damage. And attacking faster is also helpful for last hitting. And for trading hits.
Okay.
And when they're going on you for that, you should have it on strength treads when they're nuking you too.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff.
I change it like slowly.
Okay. Yeah. Here's the point where when they nuke you like that, you're 350 HP. They still have a lot of mana because he has a bastard. This is what you definitely should have gone back here. I don't know if you die or not, but you're not going to get that much CS here because Phantom Lancer should just nuke you again, and then you're going to have to back, but you just stayed in lane for extra 15 seconds to get 0 stuff when he just nuked you.
Okay.
So if you had just backed here, you could have been almost like the fountain. Hey, look, there's 2 top. When you'd be like here by now, you probably would use leap to get back, so you're healing, and then you could have TP top and made something happen. I mean, there's a Darkseer around there. He has 3 in Surge, I'm not sure why, but you could have made something happen at top for sure.
Okay.
You are quite really high level right now. And also having full mana means that you could ult yourselves in on top too, which is really good as well.
Okay.
So again here, you see Tiny's coming. They've obviously also seen him. It's good that you just go back and go for CS because you're not going to help Tiny catch him.
Yeah, I wondered how did they see him so fast. Oh, right there.
I mean, if they back like that, it's pretty clear that they have a word somewhere, right?
Yeah. No, I didn't see when he went invisible, that's why. Because of the rune, yeah.
Tiny's sort of, he could have killed Lina like here, and when she walked up here, but he's being, I don't know. So you do need to be wary. Like, you should probably be trying to push your wave out to him, so that, or your alternative is just keep it back so that they're missing EXP.
Okay. Got it. And if I'm, you said, if I want to kill, then push it, of course. So.
Yeah, if you want to kill it, then just push it and dive them at the tower.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you still haven't left your lane at this point. Tiny's came to gank for you. I mean, if the solo mid has ganked your lane before you've moved anywhere else on the map, that's generally a sign that you should have moved somewhere. It's quite rare that you shouldn't have. There are scenarios.
So, in this, I hit my arrow, but should I have leaped right away after? Or?
Oh, no. Don't leap into that. That'd be crazy. You only have a Darkseer with you. If you had a Tiny with you, maybe. Here's another
Okay.
thing. If you had casted that, if say that was tiny as a Darkseer, and you casted that how you did, you arrowed,
Yeah.
and you walked in, you would not have had enough mana for Starfall and Leap. But if
Okay.
you had casted your arrow on Intreads, leaped in on Int, and then Starfalled him during the tiny stun, you would have
Ah.
had mana. So that's
Okay.
why tread swapping is really important.
Okay.
Because you casted your spells on Agi.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And I mean, that's only a tiny there, right? Because he has that follow up stun, so you can leap in and not get Omni Knight healed on and die.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Darkseer's just sort of gonna whack him and not really do much.
Okay.
So yeah. So okay, now you're going back to heal. It's good that you tried to gank mid there because you were probably not going to get much bottom. But here's the thing: you TP back bottom again to gank a Phantom Lancer, and you don't have any detection from.
Yeah, and it was a fake.
Yeah. So when you're TPing to a lane that already has someone in it, you want to
Uh-huh.
think, "Am I doing anything by being here?"
Okay.
Because by being in a lane where there's already someone else, you're not getting more XP. You're not getting more gold for your team.
Uh-huh.
You're actually splitting the
Stealing
XP,
it.
and you can
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like he's going to get the same gold and the XP in that lane, whether you're there or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your team is sorry. He's going to get less if you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you want to make sure.
Yeah, when you say these things, like, and I actually think about it, then I can realize it. But when I'm in the game, like, I'm
Like
just I can't
instead of
think so
teaming
well.
bot there, I would have TP to the tier 2 at bottom,
Uh-huh.
at top, and tried to get an arrow on top. Maybe even ulted myself in at top, and you definitely could have got a double kill here. With like they have 2 stuns, they have
Okay.
4 nukes. You have 2 nukes yourself, so that's 6 nukes on 2 really squishy heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You probably also should have bought a dust or finish your wand. You want to do one of those at some point
Okay.
too.
Yeah, I don't. As I said, I don't know what to buy.
Yeah. So again, since you TP bottom, you can't really do anything. Okay, good. You switch to Agile Treads. I mean, honestly, staying in the lane, you want to make sure that all the nukes go on you when you're Strength Treads, because they have a lot of nuke. Like, they can kill you pretty easily. Like, if they had played this better, this Lina would just be ulting you, and you would be dead here.
Okay.
That's something else you need to be careful for. Lina can just walk up to you and ult you right now, so you should probably just back.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do choose to do that, but you need to be a bit more decisive because you could already be healing. And
Yeah,
it's
like
actually
you can tell, like, a lot of the times I'm not sure what to do, and it costs, like, the time adds up so much. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
and
missing
also-
so much CS or just opportunity everywhere. Or
I mean, you
games.
do also want to buy items.
Mhm.
Like, a magic wand would help quite a bit since they have quite spammy spells. It also tells you if you doppelbox, which is sort of nice.
Okay.
You can also finish your Ring of Aquila, you can build another Wraith Band, you can start another item, but you have 750 gold that's not doing anything. And it's not really reliable gold either.
Okay.
So TPing ball here is the right choice, just because there are 5 creeps here hitting the tower, and if you don't go to save that, they're going to kneel cut the next wave, and you're going to lose your tower. Using
Yeah.
Starfall there, even though it just hit creeps, was actually really good too, because again, if you didn't nuke it, then they would have creeps tanking this, and your tower would take a lot of damage. Also, you are full mana anyways, you're going to get mana from your Basi Ring, from natural regen, so yeah.
Okay.
Like, I would even nuke this wave, just to make sure that they can't push it.
Okay.
Maybe not since your Rubik was here, but if your Rubik hadn't been there, then just nuke it, because you have quite a bit of mana. As long as you keep mana for all your spells, then you're fine.
Okay.
And a wand would also help with that, because a wand is actually just so much mana in fight. Okay. So yeah, again, what you've basically done is just you've just stayed bottom. So okay, you see someone coming in, your immediate thought should be,
Arrow.
hey, how many of them, what hero is coming in, and how many of them are there, and how many of us are there. So here's what you know from the information. 1, Shackle Shot is down. He tried to shackle you. Someone TP'd. His skill build's really weird. But what you actually could have done is you could have leaped to the side, double Starfall the Windrunner, and tried to get an arrow off from the side or something.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to hit an arrow from behind all these creeps. Like, sure, you hit. I know you hit a creep. I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
that, but like,
No, I did.
even if you had launched it from here and gone for that, it's very hard to hit it. Whereas you leap and you arrow this way, if they dodge back into your team, they're going to die.
Okay.
You could even save the arrow for Rubik because it's a lot easier to hit a stun target with arrow, obviously. So you don't need to use arrow right away because it's not a short CD spell. Like the only spells you need to use right away are spells that have like, remember when you played Visage, you want to use your W as soon as you get as many charges as you can, because it's going to come up. Like, arrow is, you're going to get one arrow off in every fight, basically. Unless you initiate with it, then maybe you'll get off a second one, but it's quite rare.
So my first thing should have just leaped in Starfall and then... Yeah.
So I want to talk about like what you should be thinking with the spell like Arrow 2 is that it's a long CD, it's a good stun, you need to make it count. You can't just randomly fire it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just randomly throwing it out, like you said.
Hitting a 4-second arrow on one of their heroes during a fight is game changing.
Okay.
Like it will change, like one team fight is game changing in Dota, so yeah. So I haven't actually seen this, so let's just see what happens. So Rubik pulls him in. You still have an opportunity to leap here.
See, I could have stunned here instead after that. I mean the arrow.
Creeps. Yeah. I mean, you're still sort of hitting creeps. You could have, you know that Lina stunned him. You could have still leapt in on that Windrunner and killed her with just Starfall. Starfall one hit, she's dead.
Okay.
And you know that because Pio doesn't have a stun, Shackle's down, Windrunner's, Lina stuns down. If they don't have a Shackle shot, you're not going to die. Like, the only way you're dying is if they like blow everything on you somehow before. But it's really hard because you're leaping to the side, you're falling, and you have this free escape path. You're really fast because of leap. And if you tread swap to strength, they're not killing you with their nukes either.
Okay.
So yeah, and don't attack creeps in a team fight. Yeah. But anyways, Tiny cleans up here, which is sort of lucky actually. That shouldn't have happened. But yeah, you could have actually had more HP and killed more, and probably you guys would chase and maybe picked one off, and Tiny could came in, you dived him at tower, killed him, taken tower. So that's why little decisions are sort of really snowbally important in Dota. So here's a situation where you should be like, hey, we're pushing that tower, they're hanging around, maybe there's someone in here, just throw an arrow down here. It's only 100 mana. Like, when I said it's really important, it is.
And then I let someone die here, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, you OT.
Oh, no, I saved... No.
Okay, so I talked about how arrow is really important, getting one off during a fight, because you're only going to get one. But if you use your arrow to scout, that's like 6 seconds before a team fight will happen. That means your arrow is effective 11-second CD. You're going to get another one off.
Okay.
So using it earlier to scout is effectively the same as just saving it until the middle of the team fight. Because if you think about it, during a team fight, arrow is really hard to dodge. Whereas before a team fight, it's really easy to dodge. Because it's chaotic, right? So you want to make the most of your spells in that sense too.
Okay.
So yeah. So you're going back. I mean, you're really low. You should just be running back. I do not like the Fast Blades of Alacrity. I think that a Wraith Band gives you the same as a Blades of Alacrity in terms of like damage, sort of, and also gives you a bit more mana and health for half the cost. And you really should finish your Magic Wand.
Okay.
And if you didn't buy that, you could also you want to carry 2 TPs as well.
Okay.
So yeah. So you saw TP bottom here. They already pushed it, and you don't want to stand.
See, I killed them.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's look at this. I think he. Okay, so
I think I get my arrow off. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I get my arrow.
You miss your arrow. You need to wait for the opportunity to use arrow too.
Ah, but see, I killed him. I should have known too. Because I played Windrunner.
Yeah. You probably would have died anyways. Actually, no, you killed him.
Yeah. I killed him.
I mean, don't run behind people against Windrunner. Basically, it's pretty much always the person behind's fault.
Yeah.
So,
No. That's what
and here you should be like, hey, they're chasing this Windrunner down here. I can actually leap and give them movement speed. I might not be able to catch up to the Windrunner, but I at least give my allies movement speed, and I can potentially get another arrow off.
My leap.
So you don't want to just come back bottom and just farm creeps.
Yeah, see, this is what I said my problem was. I don't know what to do, so I just...
Also, at this point in the game, your Bastard Ring really should be on. Unless you're trying to keep it lane static, which you're not.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, when you're pushing in this way, they have to send one person to react this way. So that means that this entire area of the map can only potentially have 4 people. That actually makes a lot of space. Like, when you see 100 people on the map, it's so much safer. Like, it's actually so much safer. Even if they can be going for a 4-man smoke gank, you know that if you have like 2 people together and you get TPs, you're going to be able to turn that around. Whereas if there's 5 missing, you're just be like, uh-oh, they can jump 2 of us, instantly kill us, 3 TP, and then they kill them too because it's 5v3 at that point, and you lose the game.
Okay.
So pushing a lane is actually really good just for map control. Like, people think that warding should see everything. It's not warding that sees stuff. It's keeping pressure on lane that really gives vision of heroes. Because if you think about how often is a hero really in the river for? This ward, this ward, sure, it sees important things like lane transitions, but the majority of your sight is from them hitting your creeps or you ganking them or stuff like that. That's why it really bothers me when people complain about warding and how they can't see anyone. Not because they're wrong, they should have wards up, but because that's not how they should have been getting vision of the heroes.
Got it, because you're not pressured. No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. So you, like that, and it's the same thing with like split pushing. Split pushing is a good strategy because you always have vision of their heroes basically, and it's very hard for them to do anything. Oh, you hit the arrow, nice. So that's a good leap. Good. You missed the double starfall here, which might actually let her get away if she hits the shackle.
Wait, when you say how did I miss a double starfall? Am I not in the?
Oh, yeah, you have to be within 175 range of them, which is basically like a hero, like really close, just like Zenix Zone.
Ah, okay, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. So wait, do you know how starfall works or?
Until I kept wondering why you said double starfall. I thought you meant like I could get 2 Qs off.
Oh,
but then,
no.
But
So
then now
starfall,
when you said it, I realized. See, and this is where I killed him too, because I hesitated and I wasn't clicking soon enough, and I think he should have died if I did that. And
I don't think the Stark would have died there actually.
Oh.
No. So you're fine for there.
Oh.
So you go here, So I mean.
Got it. So now I just have to be so close. Okay, when I do that.
Yeah. No, he wouldn't have died anyways. Like that was just the Darkseer's fault. Like when he was, okay, if you get stunned by the whatever, held down by the Slark, run around the circle so he's not getting full auto attacks on you instead of like just standing there still.
Okay.
Because you can't move away from that tether. Same thing against Puck, right? Puck has you in this big coil. This box is your area where you can move. If you run around in a circle, when his ally melee hero is trying to hit you, you're going to dodge damage.
Oh yeah, and I leave the game here, so because our lesson.
And you leave. Alright, so I think we're not going to go over that SB lesson because you actually have quite a bit of stuff to work on, and I'll save it for next lesson. We can go over that.
Yeah, definitely. I need to practice a lot. This one was so helpful.